the Xianzhou Luofu, our next stop on this Trailblazer only journey. Actually, we'll get to that in a moment. These guys can barely hurt me. I guess that's to be expected when you have nearly every available blessing for Path of Preservation in Simulated Universe. That's World 2 checked off the list. Too easy, really. Bring on the Swarm Disaster already. I mean, I haven't even tried it on my main account, but Blazer Dono can probably handle it. Planner ornaments can now be farmed. I will absolutely be taking advantage of the next double drop event for those. But let's venture into World 3 right away. See if we get a lucky first drop. I'm confident I can make it far enough to earn a few planner ornaments. Maybe even clear the world.
Will of Preservation!
Didn't I just defeat this guy? Alright, round 2. The name's a bit different. That's not good.
Lance ablaze.
And it stacks. Oh well, I did get what I wanted, a 4-star attack percent, a link rope. Once I unlock a few Eidolons for Path of Preservation from the Luofu, clearing Simulated Universe World 3 should be a breeze. If not, there is always grinding out the remainder of the ability tree to unlock food use. So, where were we? Right, the Xianzhou Luofu, a fleet of spacefaring ships home to multiple long-life peoples, such as the factions of which the magnanimous Miss Tingyun belongs.
Allow me to welcome you to Starskiff Haven.
And enemies. These Mara-struck get a second lease on life during combat. How annoying. I bet that's going to be a pain in the rear, the likes of which will surely cause major setbacks as Blazer Dono journeys into this new challenge. Well, that's what I expected, but turns out this place is ridiculously easy. It's evident the place has been hit by those nerfs brought to Star Rail in version 1.6. Made a whole video researching that if you missed it, but the gist is that all Trailblaze mission encounters, including regular enemies on the map when a Trailblaze mission is active in the area, have been reduced in difficulty. Even without nerfs, I am convinced I still wouldn't be having trouble with the regular enemies. After all, I've been able to take down formidable foes. As far as I'm aware, those fellas haven't been nerfed. They remain the same level even after the Trailblaze mission on a map is cleared. Hey! The Hexanexus. I love these things. My favorite puzzle in the game. So simple, so addicting, so rewarding. These things alone will give me enough currency for a preservation eidolon from the shop. I must admit, said shop is much less exciting than Belobog's. I suppose that's the nature of progression in a game. Was stoked to get those 4-star relics and other items from Belobog's shop. Now that I can farm relics, and most of the other items are useless, the only things worth buying are eidolons and recipes. I was more excited about this guy's shop, to be honest. Salesby here has some great synthesis materials for sale. I will now never run out of bottled soda. Alrighty, that's enough looking around, enough treasure hunting. Let's get into our first big battle. Why hello there, Kafka. Quite a number of viewers labeled you as a major problem, and I'd be willing to bet many expected me to fight you using preservation. That, however, has never been my plan. My plan has always been to crush you under the weight of 2 or 3 brutal swings of this baseball bat. Because whenever annoying status effects are on the table, the best defense may well be an overwhelming offense that ends the battle before those status effects pose a problem. Dominated. That's cute, Kafka. Real cute. Best do your worst, because this is the only chance you're getting.
Let's go. Rules are made to be broken.
You're lucky that didn't crit. I guess Elio helped make this script a little less embarrassing for you. Alright, go ahead. Have your second round of status effects. I'll settle with having to take 4 swings. So, yes, Kafka does indeed suffer from the nerfs. But, given the damage potential shown, literally took 48% of her health in one ultimate without critting, it's safe to say she wouldn't have stood a chance even before the nerfs. It should be noted that Blazer Dono isn't the strongest he can be at this moment. I could get a higher tier physical damage planner sphere. I could go farm, but I still just really don't want to go back there. 4-star attack percent, boxing boots. I also didn't use this beastly food buff, a disposable kinetic cannon, which I can unlock by doing quests in Bellabog. Am I stuck? Miss Pela, please move. She must find this amusing. And I kid you not, the unstuck button in the menu is gone. Guess I get to start over. There we go. Done with this quest chain and the survival one. Yes, tasty metal cannon thing. Perhaps she would have gotten a few wins in, but all I would require is both ultimates critting. Not too tall an order given Blazer Dono's crit rate is 55.9%. No time to rest after defeating Kafka. Not that we broke a sweat, as we're traveling into the Divination Commission with everyone's favorite Celestial Jade player, Xianzhou. Uh-oh, one of those big gate robots. It's not much of an issue, besides its ability to inflict imprisonment. That's 2 bosses in a row that have been able to rip control from my hands. Surely it won't happen a 3rd time, right? Right? That aside, destruction plows through it. Ah, Cycranes. These fellows are always trying to get you into fights. Can't they take a safer route? Neat little trick about them is that fights can be avoided by luring enemies out of the Cycrane's path. Go on. Dude, come on. They're not even in front of you anymore. Hurry up and move! Haha, safe! Here's something interesting. I play Star Rail with music off when recording footage. Being able to hear the ambience better, I noticed an odd sound. That's the chime of a treasure chest, yet there isn't one here. I came across this a few more times until I made the connection that it occurs near those Starskiff compass puzzles. To be clear, it's not the compass that makes the noise, as the chime is always far away from the compass. I'm thinking they maybe store the chest reward below ground prior to completion? I tried clipping the camera into terrain, but couldn't see anything. Quite mysterious.
Upon commission grounds your feet do tread. Leave from whence you came, or soon be dead. Dead.
This dude?
Means I know of may yet serve your fight. Pray you in repayment aid my plight.
Is awesome. Best NPC of the Luofu. We meet him in the Artisanship Commission, which happens to be the location of our next big boss, the deer.
Stay alert. How about this?
Well, This deer was supposed to be another massive hurdle to jump, but I'd say my chances are good, judging from that little skirmish. The first battle can't be won, since it's story-driven. The rest of the mission for this map is to solve puzzles that'll destroy the roots from which the deer is drawing those massive heels. Puzzles in the form of Master Gong Shu's laser devices. Let me just stand right in front of it. Obviously the safest location to be. You're free to call me crazy, because I'm going destruction against the deer. Yes, even though it is weak to fire. The reason? That'd be due to the fact this is the third boss in a row that can inflict a status, rendering me unable to control Blazer Dono. Think I can pull it off without food buffs? Let's give it a shot.
Stay alert.
Yep, there's the status effect, Outrage. It forces my character to act on his own and only do basic attacks. Each plant the deer summons has its own gimmick. There's one that inflicts outrage, another that needs to be present for the deer to use its ultimate attack, one that heals the deer, and another that enters a counter state, ready to send back damage if you attack it. The reason I'm running destruction is because I don't want to deal with all that. Let's just hit the deer really hard a few times and be done with it. Rather close. Guess I'll need food buffs after all. Oops. That plant was supposed to get KO'd. That's game over. Look at this nonsense.
Nothing can stop you now!
And that's one deer hunted. Okay, hold on. I'm almost certain that after the deer, I should be required to increase my equilibrium level to continue. Oh, they also changed that. I didn't know at the time, but I actually would have been forced to up my equilibrium level immediately after defeating Kafka. With version 1.6, it's looking like the entire Luofu story can be done on Equilibrium 1. Does that mean the deer would have been impossible beforehand? I don't believe so. I'm fairly confident Destruction could pull off the win prior to nerfs. The deer's whole gimmick is that outrage plant. Root it out immediately and the fight becomes much easier. Anyways, since the game allows for it, I'm going to keep pushing onward at Equilibrium 1. Who knows, maybe I'll even be able to beat Phantilia before Trial Jingyuan bites the dust. If not, then as with Cocolia, I'll instead attempt her Echo of War version without trial character nonsense. Even though you can now defeat Cocolia with just Trial Trailblazer, 1.6 really did change everything. For now, this is where we pause. Things have been easy. Too easy, actually. I'm a bit worried this is a bad omen for the future. All that's left of the Luofu is Phantilia. So next time, Blazer Dono will be preparing to fight his next super boss. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Blazer Dono. If you're enjoying the series, I do appreciate a subscribe. Should you be curious about sneak peeks or strange finds before new videos drop, you can follow me at Moosashiden over on Twitter. This is Moosashi and Blazer Dono signing off. Till next time.